Good evening. How are we doing? How the very devil are we? Now I can hear the echo already, so I'm going to open the door. I don't want to open the door because it'll let the cat in. The cat is being terrible today. The cat is the bane of my existence. How can we get rid of that? Okay, how can we see what's going on? Ah, there we are. Ah, it's my hand. Ah, it's my other hand. I have two. Look, they cross over like that. Right. Yeah. Whew, what a day. What a week. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to launch straight into it, I think. How are we, people? Hi, Mick. How are we doing? I've received a note from Salazar to say Salazar. You know, now I think about it, I can't. Salazar. There we are. To say that he might not make it tonight because he's looking at outhouses. I'm sure that means toilet. I could be wrong. Anyway, good luck to him in his outhouse searching. What are we going to do tonight? I don't know what we're going to do tonight. It's a bit of a mystery. I know one thing we're going to do tonight, and we'll get to that in a minute. And hopefully we'll get time to go on to another thing, which we'll get to in not too long. Still here, look, overhand. Oh, right, so I was waking up at about 4:30 because the cat decided he needed to be fed, and he'd never been fed ever in his entire existence. And I've been up ever since, so yeah, I'm having fun. So if I'm a little bit off kilter tonight, I do apologise. I will try and keep it together for as long as possible, insofar as I ever keep things together, in my normal disjointed way. Right, okay, so what do we have tonight? We have, let's start with what's hopefully going to be the simple thing. Mick, in last week's stream, I challenged him. I said, he said he wanted me to paint, the print off a can you all hear me, by the way? Mick, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Can see, can hear. Well, that's useful. Okay. Oh, you need to work on that response time a bit there, Mick. I mean, you're Johnny on the ball with Paul's stream, but you know. Although I did beat you to it yesterday. Yeah, sorry. I just caught a glimpse out of the corner of my eye of my Discord screen, and it said my microphone was muted, and I thought, yeah. Yeah, this could have been an interesting start to the proceedings. Right, I don't need that yet. Right, yes, Mick, in his infinite wisdom, being my one and only and therefore best Patreon subscriber, challenged me to print out and paint the Hi Paul logo. Let's go with that. No, not that. The Moog's Little Figures logo. And I said to him, ha ha ha, it's a bit beyond my skill set. If you can get one made into a 3D model, then sure, I'll print it out and I'll paint it. So he got in touch with James from March of War. I don't know whether I put his details in the description for the video, but I certainly will. James from March of War produces brilliant resin terrain. And scatter terrain and such like that. So I will put his details in the description for this video. I will also pop them in the in my Discord as well. Visit his stuff. He does very good stuff. He does very cheap stuff. He designed and printed out this guy, which I think is absolutely brilliant. So I'm going to paint him. I don't know whether this will take the entire stream. Hopefully not. I mean, there's not a lot to it. But he's brilliant. So I'm going to paint him because Mick said, no, paint him. So I'm gonna. Right, okay, let's have a look at blues. I need to match blue to the... Oh, where's my little demon guy? Where is he? Sub up. Oop, there we are. So he's in the corner of my stream, so I can match colours to him. I'm going to go with that one. No. No, that's blue. That's the wrong blue. I mean, that's closer, but still no cigar. I think that's possibly as close as we're going to get. Is he Cantal blue? That's my Crag blue. Oh, don't know anything but Crag blue. Yeah, filthy ultramarines. Did we go with that one? We did try that one. That's a bit simple. He may not be colour matched, Mick. Is that alright? He may not be colour matched. And for this, I think we're not going to use the airbrush. Let's not use the airbrush. Let's try that on for size. Let's get the old wet palette out. Ooh. The old wet palette into the scheme of things, right? He's not going to be colour matched. Okay, let's give this paint a bit of a shake. And it being... what's that over there? Okay. That's a problem for later. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Right, okay. Have I got actual paper in there? I don't think I have. I haven't used this for so long. I don't know. Oh yes, yeah, there is paper in there. Okay. Right. Okay. Let's lift that up. What we're going to do is we're just going to give it a bit more moisture to think about. These things are brilliant, by the way. Get yourself one of these if you've not got one. I think they come in packs of 3, so get yourself 3. So that's just water coming out of there, I think. Yeah, it's not white spirit. Do not try that at home, kids. Yeah, there's definitely water coming out of there. So, okay, right, let's give this thing a bit of a burr on the burr machine. Burr. Now, I use a lot of army paints. Why? Because when I got back into the hobby, they were the cheapest option I could find for a big set of paints, because I thought coming back into the hobby, hobby. Don't go back into a hobby. Hobbit. No, don't go into hobbits. No, you get in trouble for that. Getting back into the hobby, I decided I needed a nice big paint set, which, viewers, you do not. So I have an awful lot of army painter paints. And they're an okay paint. They're an okay mid-range paint. I use them semi-occasionally. I mostly use contrast paints these days, to be absolutely fair, but I use them semi-occasionally. And they're okay, but they do need a bit of watering down. They come a little bit thick. Right, just cleaning my glasses, otherwise I won't be able to see anything. So yeah, this guy. James from March of War, thank you, this guy is brilliant. Mick, thanks for commissioning him, I guess, because he's brilliant. Right. Right, in the comments, what do you reckon I could use this guy to sub in for in a game of Warhammer? I mean, obviously we're looking at some sort of Chaos Demon. Some sort of demented Chaos Spawn, maybe? I don't know. Is he Khorne? Is he Slanesh? Blue would be kind of zinchy, wouldn't it? Yeah, it would. Oh, I've got all those dots to worry about. Okay, the paint splashes. Are we doing the paint splashes on it, Mick? Do you want the paint splashes on it? Yeah, let's do the paint splashes on it. Yeah, this is the other problem with these. Oh God, what did I say about ultramarines? I don't want to do any ultramarines. What have I picked? Can we call him Little John? Call him whatever you like, mate. I specifically said I don't want to have any ultramarine colours on my minute. What have I picked? What have we picked? What does that say? It's karma, I tell you. Oh, right, okay. Where was I? Oh yes, right, okay. Yeah, these things are a bit thick, so they will need a little bit of watering down. So a little bit of water there, and because it's always good to have a little bit of medium as well. Pop a little bit of medium down there as well. The dropper from this is still in there, and it seems to want to be there. And as long as it's happy, I'm not going to argue with it. I don't think. All right. So a little bit of medium, a little bit of water. What the medium does is it will dilute the. Oh my gosh, that's terrible. How does that look like? Nothing like what's on the bottom. Oh well, I'm committed now. Let's get a bit of deep blue mixed in there. Let's see if we can get a better colour going on. Oh, oh, ah, oh now. Oh now, misses. Oh, 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 misses. Titter ye not. Right, okay. Okay. It's not mixing particularly well. I don't know why. So yeah, army painter paints aren't terrible, but they can be pretty awful. Right, let's get some colour on this guy. Nice big brush, because we've got a lot of ground to cover here. What was I saying about medium? Oh yes, using medium to dilute your paints means you still, in theory, get the same level of colour density. But it just flows off the brush better. Gonna need a couple of coats on this guy, I think. And I think probably what we might try and do is make him look like a cartoon. So there'll be some edging going on, black edging, to make it look like he's been drawn. I think that's probably the way forward. Excuse me. Not COVID. At least I hope not. Although I have been into the office this week, so you never know. I haven't got any rashes anywhere, so it's not going to be 12 monkey virus or whatever it is. Anyone have a monkey virus for their apocalyptic bingo this year? Certainly didn't rule it out. the medium in there. This isn't going to be particularly exciting, unfortunately. However, it's fun. I'd rather drop of that because we're using a nice big brush, so it's using an awful lot of paint. I might actually get some contrast paints involved in this, just to get a sense of depth to him. It's not an ideal miniature for contrast paints, because contrast paints love flowing into the details, and there's not an awful lot of detail on him. Pull the hair out of his bum. Cat hairs get everywhere, even onto your 3D rendered logo's bum. Coat out of this, are we really? I may give them a once over with the airbrush just to even out the brush strokes, because I don't like the brush strokes. They don't look right. Maybe I'm just too used to my airbrush now. Gotta admit, a little bit of a hobby funk of late. I've just not been feeling it. I'm looking at my collection of miniatures, both GW and printed, and struggling to find the drive to paint any of it, which is something that afflicts us all, I think, every now and again. And normally I'd say, well, why do you paint? It's a hobby. At the end of the day, we do hobbies for fun, and if you are not getting fun from your hobby, set it aside for a bit. There's no point in getting frustrated with it. No one is going to judge you if you set your hobby aside for a bit and come back to it when you're actually enthused and engaged by it. The difference is when you're a YouTuber, it's a little bit harder to set it aside then. Content for the content god. Which makes me question, why am I YouTubing? Well, because I enjoy it. At the moment, I'm getting something out of it. I don't know what, but I'm getting something out of it. I spend so much of my time, all day, every day, talking to myself, that I might as well film it, and so other people can hopefully get some sort of enjoyment from it. Right, yeah, I'm definitely going to go over this with an airbrush. Yeah, that's just not going on evenly at all. I think these need a good 10 minutes blast on the whizzer, but I'm not going to give them that because I've not got 10 minutes to give them a whiz. And that is the downside to not using those particular paints very often. They tend to go a bit claggy. And they're thick already, so yeah, and you can almost see out the paint had started to separate. So what we're going to do is we're going to reach for the it must be a blue thing. Look at that. Look how that's separated. Oh, paint chemistry. If you want to know about paint chemistry, what's his name? Goobertown Hobbies. The man is a chemist in his day job, or he has a degree in chemistry or something, and he goes in quite in depth into the properties of some paint and why they behave the way they do. And not all paint is created equal. I'm looking for Talisar Blue. I put it somewhere, and that wasn't what I was looking at earlier, over there. So it wasn't that. Leviathan Blues. Oh, don't need a Leviathan Blue. That's a crazy amount of. Oh, what's this? What's this? Transparent blue from Monument Hobbies. Could this be the answer to my hobby prayers? It might be. I'll carry on looking for the Talisar Blue because I might need that later, thinking about it. As you might have guessed, I haven't got the wall space to do what a lot of hobby people do, and that's stick up massive shelves covered in paints and things like that. I can't do that in my room, so I have to resort to putting paints in a drawer, and they get mixed up, muddled up and jumbled, and all kinds of confused, and I can never find any things when I need it, which isn't usually a problem. Except when I'm live streaming. Oh no, that's kind of cool. Look at that. That's not it. That's a Kelly and green. Don't need that. Okay. Can't waste too much more time with you listening to me turning my office upside down. So we're going to proceed with the Pro-Acryl transparent paint from Monument Hobbies. Which has pigment for days and is no good to me there. I needed it in the airbrush, didn't I? Yep. Yeah, so that was a waste. Oh well, right. Okay, airbrush. Are we clean? Are we secret? Are we safe? What's that? Ha ha! I knew it was over there somewhere. Always in the last place you look. Right, okay. I am going to... Here. Right, okay. Sit there, behave yourself. Right, okay, so... okay. Nice. Sounding really professional tonight, folks. I did notice the camera, didn't I? Oh well. There we are, it's happened. I can cross that one off the bingo list. Oh god, that's loads. That's way more than I need. Oh well. Ah, there we are. Okay. Okay, here we go. Who else do we have in chat? I would be surprised if there is anyone, mate. We may have been blessed with Crimson. I don't think so, though. She did say she might drop by to see if she can pick up any tips. Is that what it is? That's actually a bit more... That's a bit closer, isn't it? Yeah, a little bit. Right. To say I didn't want to use the airbrush, this is working out an awful lot better. Yeah, a nice even coat here. Fish. Yeah. Should have started off with that, really. Every day's a school day. See, other YouTubers will figure this stuff out in advance. Cowards. Cowards is what they are. Figure these things out on the fly. Seat of the pants playing. Painting. Oh, both of them. Right, so I put a little bit of white ink in there just to get a bit more... pardon me. mixing it. It might be too much of a gradient, but we'll see. That is too much of a gradient. But we can be very careful about how we apply it. Yeah, we have got paint coming out there, cool. Compressors on a blink. So I'm just going in and I'm trying to create some highlights. Give it a bit more of a less flat look. I mean, obviously you could do this with a dry brush. You could. But you saw how my brush work was. Turn him round. His bum's chipped. Little blue bum, little blue bum. The little blue bum, little blue bum. Yeah. Getting there, isn't he? Good, isn't it, mate? It's good. Yeah, I'm approaching happy with that. Put a little tiny bit more white ink in there. Where did I put the white? I put the white ink away. No, I didn't. Oh, here we are. Tiny little bit of white ink. of a mix. Out. Cool. Just take those highlights up a little bit more. If I get time, I'm going to be working with blue a bit later as well. To create a kind of a glowing effect. Somebody said, well, what about plasma? So, you know, I'll do that. Hi, Dad. I don't have a son. Oh, hi, Kieran. Not my son, I don't think. There we go. Yep. I think that's as good as he's going to get, isn't it? In terms of his blueness. Right, okay, let's give my airbrush a bit of a clean. I'll put him aside for a minute. Where's my slop bucket? There's my slop bucket. Always have a slop bucket. If you've got a slop bucket, you're okay to airbrush. If you're a real professional, unlike me, your slop bucket won't also be your paintbrush water. But I am not a professional. Tattoo. Well, I suppose I might freehand a tattoo on there. A tattoo of what? I dread to think. No, don't answer that. You know, stick an Ultramarines decal on him or something. Right. What else do I need the airbrush for? I don't need the airbrush for an awful lot now, but what I am going to do is hit him up with some satin. That'll do. Give him a coat of varnish. Go with satin or go with matte? Matte tends to be, yeah, isn't that cool? Matte tends to be a little bit more durable. If I can find my matte varnish, I'll give him a blast of matte. There we are. stuff is crazy. Right, so that goes straight into the airbrush. Right, I'm going to put a little spot of flow improver in there. Just a few drops. There we go. Crazy matte varnish. Reasonably quick drying this stuff. And once it's dry, it really does knock the shine right off it. Around his lower extremities where he's going to get lots of chips. Protect his bum. Let's give this. There's a little bit left in there, so I'm just going to give a quick once over with them. Demon Prince for the Death Guard. Well, I was asking earlier whether people think I could use it as a proxy for something. I'm not entirely sure about Death Guard, but certainly got proxy for something written on him. Right. Just give my airbrush a bit more of a go through, because as much as you don't really want anything drying in your airbrush, you especially don't want varnish. Probably. Where is... Stick a bit of airbrush cleaner through it as well whilst I'm here. Just to prep it for the next colour. Good. Good, good, good. Right. One tip I learnt with airbrushes is try and keep them wet, even when you're not using them. And I think that's sound advice. They're not... I don't have any parts on them. Well, they shouldn't have any parts on them that will rust. So if you can put them in a tub of water when you're not using them, it should keep them clean, like, you know, I don't. Right, okay. get that out of the way, because we're gonna quiet you. There we are. Going to lay down a bit more. A bit of grease here going on. Start turning attention to eyes and things. Now really, when you start going into the realms of light grey and white and things, you should have a new pot of water, and ideally a clean brush or a brush that has only been used for greys and white. I'm doing none of those things. So this is Grace here, mixing in a bit of the medium from earlier and a tiny bit of the water. Thin your paints, always thin your paints. That's probably a bit too thin. There we are, that's a bit better. Avatar of Cain. Yeah, maybe. It's the blue craft wheel to LATOC. Tree Lord, okay, you're pushing it there. I think I can't see it. Can't see Tree Lord. I get kind of a Zinch vibe from him, I won't lie. Yeah, James has done a really good job with this. How many other YouTubers out there can say they've got a 3D printed version of their own logo? Hey? Valrak, where's yours? Huh? Winters, you got one? Actually, Winters has several. Oh, yeah. I think we might be having to go down the two thin coats approach here. I don't know whether something got mixed in with my brush water or something, but just not getting the coverage I should out of these paints. That is a fair point, Kieran. Say Hi Paul is his own logo. Even on my bad days, I do not look like a small blue cartoon demon. Yeah, this is terrible. But we're getting there. Wait for that to dry. Actually, we'll use the airbrush for the other function it's used for, and that's drying paint. Just air going through that. And we'll go in for the second of 2 thin coats. This is taking a surprising amount of time. I thought I'd be done by now. Oops, got a fingerprint on him there. Oh well. These things will happen if you do things quickly. And we're getting tearing and all sorts, which is not ideal. Side of your brush where you can, so you get a nice crisp line and you got less chance of scorching and making a mess. There we go. Right, okay. Let's There's the first paint splat. So a splodge there. Splodge there. Bigger splodge there. And kind of a splodge there as well. He certainly looks the part, doesn't he, mate? Yeah, like I say, James has done a really good job here. That's James from March of War. Again, I'll pop the details for his site in the description for this video. Certainly is, Jamie. Welcome. Different James, not this Jamie, although his stuff is cool as well. Well, no, point of fact, it's not a mini Moog. A mini Moog is a synthesizer. I've got in trouble for calling myself Moog because apparently Moog makes synthesizers, and that apparently means I can't have merch from certain sites. Glad you could make it. How is your outhouse? Quick tea break, folks. Tiring. Right. Okay. Next paint is gonna be no, let's not use that. I've got some administratum grey somewhere, but for now that's Corvax white, and I'm going to put that down on top of the. There we are, and you can see Corvax white, for all it looks white in the pot, isn't actually a white; it's an off-white. It's a grey because the wet palette's white. Mixing a little bit of medium in there. Answer a question for me, Jamie. Where I come from, an outhouse means an outside toilet. I'm presuming that's not what you meant. Do you mean a shed or something? Just letting it. Oh, that's very subtle. Probably don't want it to be anywhere near that subtle. I'm going to go over this with a contrast paint in a minute, but I'm trying to create a little bit of light and shade gradient. One bed flat, nice. You moving out or finding somewhere to store your mistress? Yeah, that's way too subtle. But I'm just creating some light and shadow. So that's Corvus white going on. Oh, that's not great. Well, I really hope it works out for you then. Really do. Did it look promising, or do you not want to doom it? I wouldn't doom it. There you go. There's some white paint. There's some actual white paint next to the Corvax white, and you can see massive difference. I'm just going to create a bit of a mix there. There's a little bit more of a sense of gradient. Oh, he's a lot of fun, isn't he? He's a lot of fun. Right, okay. I think we are going to What are we going to do? We are going to use a bit of siliconum grey, I think. Give that a quick whiz on the old burr machine. Yeah, landlords and pets are a problem. Right, we're just going to create a little bit of a glaze, I think. Is that basilica? That is basilica and grey. Some of that medium there. A bit more of that medium there. Right. Starting to look like a cartoon already. So while we're here, let's get the cell shading effect in on the old arm and around the eyes. Starting to pop now. Starting to pop. Oh, he's so cool. Oops. Oops. No, I'll have to spray over that. Didn't spot that. Doomed. Again, this is one of the pitfalls to try to do things quickly. You get little spots everywhere of stuff. Perhaps in your next AoS game, Paul will let you summon that model in as an endless spell. You know what? I doubt it, and I wouldn't ask. Let's get the eyes dotted in, and then we can take a step back, have a couple of sips of tea. Yeah! Right, we're going to let him dry for a bit, I think. I don't want to dry him with an airbrush. fix that. Try and fix that splodge on the back of his head. By inexpertly mixing in a bit of different paint, might be able to build something up resembling. Yeah, I'm just going to end up with splodges all over this thing if I carry on. Yeah, I think that's a job for the airbrush later. No, that's a job for the airbrush now. Let's do that now. A few drops of flow improver. That paint I think that's electric blue. Are we getting anything out of that? Yeah, we are. Probably not as much as we need though. I'm going to use that. I'm going to use no. Let's use electric blue. Here we are. A bit more flow improving there. Pardon me. Mixing airbrush paints is a noisy endeavour. Not gonna. Come on, mix. Mix, damn it. Right, let's try that. It'd be cool if we get another couple of designs out of James, so you could have a brush holder and a water vessel. I think at that point people will start to want them. There is no way I'm going into any kind of production line creating and painting these things. Just not happening. Right. A little bit of coverage on there, which is good. Fixed. Leave that in there for the time being. Hopefully I won't need to use the airbrush again. No, I probably won't. I think that plasma coil thing will have to wait for another. I was going to do that, but I think I'll have to wait. I'll do a tutorial for that because I'm going to be off for a couple of weeks fairly soon, so I will try and make some content to throw up whilst I am absent. Throw up being the proper descriptive term for my stuff, I think. Right. Don't want to pick this thing up now. Right, okay. Let's try and get those colours down. What's that? That looks like a fluorescent pink. Fluorescent pink all day long. That looks like a fluorescent yellow. So that's what that would be. So I've got a fluorescent pink now. Whee! These don't cover that well, but we'll see how we go on. Fluorescent paints though, if you've not played around with them, do find a time to do so, because they are a lot of fun and you can create an awful lot of interesting effects with them. I think that looks more or less, doesn't it? Yep. Close enough for government work. Right. Okay. Let's give it a good shake. Put it on the machine. Fluorescent yellow. Fluorescent pink. Fluorescent pink is what Joe had me put on my Mauler Fiend. Mauler Fiend? No, the other one. Not the Mauler Fiend. Oh god, the ectoplasma launcher variant of the Mauler Fiend, which isn't the Mauler Fiend, it was the other Fiend. Somebody correct me. Forge Fiend? Something like that? I don't know. Big stumpy demon engine anyway. Forge Fiend, thank you. So that paint has actually gone out very, very thick. So I'm going to have to leave that to dry for a bit. That's looking all right though. Yeah, I'm happy with that. See how that rose paint is coming on, because I'm going to have to do that big blue splodge at some point. Get a bit of that mixed in with the blue, because it's not quite blue. I still want to get a bit of that fluorescent feel coming through. I think that might be it. Close enough for government work, I think. And a bit more blue in there. Yeah. All right. And that kind of goes there. Excuse me going quiet a bit. I'm actually trying to get this to more or less match up with the actual logo, and it's I may have to stop being so anal about it. is missing. He is missing. And a little bit of shadow under his chin. Which defines his lip. I will put silicone grey. Yeah. And just around the side here, there's a little bit of extra shadow. I think we're approaching done, as scary as that might seem. Oops. Nope. What have I done? Messed it up. Messed it up. There we go. Compare and contrast. I mean, he's a lighter blue, but he actually looks quite cool. I'm happy with that. Let's sort his bum out. Yeah, I think we're approaching done. A tiny little bit more of a silicone grey. Just to emphasise the outlines, but I mean, he looks fairly cartoony, wouldn't you say? Certainly okay for a rush job. Yep, I've had fun there. I've learnt a bit about my airbrushing. I think we will call him done. And I think we've probably run out of time for me to start my other project. I can't remember who it was talking about plasma coils and things, but I will endeavour, as I say, to get this this painted up in a regular tutorial video, and probably do another one as well for whilst I'm away. I will be back middle of June. Wow, yeah, cool. I'll be back middle of June. So in the meantime, thank you very much for stopping by. Thanks very much for Mick for requesting and commissioning this. Thanks very much to James from March of War, whose details I will put in the video description, for designing it, because he's crazy good. He's a lot of fun. yeah, I've acquired myself an affiliate link for Element Games. So if you fancy feeding your hobby and also helping me out, there is a link in my Discord. Again, I'll put a link for that in the video. I will also put a link for the Element affiliation in the description for the video for people who don't want to join my Discord. I don't know why. I understand why you wouldn't, but some people are like that. And in the meantime, special thanks for Mick for being my one and only Patreon sponsor. If you do feel like sponsoring me in that way, I do have a Patreon. The link is in the description. If you want to buy me a coffee or something like that, again, link in the description. In fact, look in the description. There's all sorts of links there. It's also so funny. I don't have to hold your hand. Ugh, God, moon on a stick. Right, good night, people. I will see you when I see you. Middle of next month. Have fun, y'all. Bye-bye. I lied. One more thing. This isn't the first one of these I painted. I did paint another one because I think it was about time. It is the only golden demon I'm likely to see. And on that bombshell, that really is me gone. Have fun, guys.